So, Mrs. Andretta had told me that this week you guys are going to be learning about plants, which I was super excited about because they're probably one of my favorite things to learn about in science because there's just so many different things to learn about plants and there's so many different types of plants. So I actually reviewed the packet that Mrs. Andretta and other people have put together for you guys to work on through the school. And I saw that you guys were learning about like parts of the plants and other things, and I kind of just extended on those. So some of the things you might be learning, it might be you almost relearning them, and I think that's really great because this will help you really stick that knowledge in your head. And then we'll just have like different activities to do. So my first lesson for you is parts of a plant. I found a super cool image online. It's I'm gonna show you guys in a second, but it's a little bit of a I'm gonna have to turn my screen again, but it does show the parts of the plants. But first I want you guys to think and envision in your head what a plant looks like, to try to imagine the different parts. So maybe even look in your backyard, just think about the different parts because it obviously there's many different parts to the plant, so just think of maybe if you could identify a few in your head, and if not, that's okay, we're gonna go over them. But maybe pause the video and think about it for a second and then come back. Okay, so now that you had time to think about the different parts, I'm going to show you the image I was talking about. I'm gonna have to turn my screen. I'm gonna send this to you guys in the document so that you could refer back to it. So if you can't see it too well now, that's okay. So yeah, it looks a little backwards right now, but this is a really great image. I love it because it's a visual and it kind of just shows you. So I'll just kind of read you it and turn the screen back around because it is backwards. But I'll point to them. So this is petals are the flowers. And they attract animals that pollinate flowers. And you need your flowers to be pollinated in order for them to grow. And then the seed helps the flower reproduce. So that's almost like how, like, you know, like if you want to plant a plant, you will use the seeds. So those are the seeds that help them reproduce. And then right here you have the leaves, and you guys that's probably one of the parts you're most familiar with. So the leaves soak in light and air to make food for the plant, and I think that's very important. I actually didn't know that, but obviously plants need light, and that's how the leaves are actually the ones that soak it in, which I had no idea. And then the stem, which is the little skinny line here, carries water from the roots to the leaf. So that's very important because the leaves wouldn't be able to be nourished, and the flower wouldn't be able to grow if the water wasn't carried through that. And then the roots, they are underground, soak up water and nutrients, and anchor the plant to the ground. So you could see the roots are in the soil. And so that basically is the roots are usually always underground. I learned a lot while doing the lessons that some roots could actually be above the ground, but most of the time it is underground. But the soil does have a lot of nutrients in it, and flowers need nutrients. I will learn about that later on to survive. But the roots help absorb those nutrients to give to the plant so that it can grow. Just like us, like humans, we do need nutrients. So I will attach that part to you at the end of the lesson. And so let's just review in our heads real quick the different parts of the plant. So you have the flower / petals, the seed, the leaves, the stem, and the roots. So what I want you to do now that we went over them, is I want you to go through your head and try to list the different parts in your head. Remember, there are 5, so if you're like, did I get them all? There's 5. And then maybe if you are able to get 5, try to think about their function. So for example, the leaves' functions are to soak up light and air to make food for the plant. So I want you to pause the video real quick, try to listen in your head, maybe try to go through the functions, and then we'll go and review them. Okay, so now that you had time to list them in your head and try to remember them, I'll go over the different parts and their functions real quick. So the first one we have is the flowers / petals. And they attract animals that pollinate flowers. One of the most popular animals that pollinate flowers are bees. So oftentimes you hear like bees, like they'll pollinate the flowers. And then the seeds, they help flowers reproduce. The leaves, they soak in light and air to make food for the plant. The stem carries the water from the roots to the leaves. And the roots soak up water and nutrients and anchor the plant to the ground. So I guess it also makes the plant stay together and hold up. So our activity for today is going to be to describe one part of the plant and its functions. So you're going to write 1 to 2 sentences about one part of the plant. So I'll do an example with you guys. And I'm going to choose the root of the plant. So unfortunately, that means when you go to write your sentence, you can't do the root of the plant because I'm giving you an example. So, but there's still, you could still choose the stem, the leaf, the seed, the petals / flowers. So there's a bunch of options. So I want to first identify which part of the plant I'm talking about so I know, and their function. So their function means what they do, and we did go over that, so you'll be able to see. So I would write something like this. One part of the plant is the root, which helps the plant absorb water and minerals. The water and minerals help nourish the plant so it can grow. So you can see I identified the part of the plant. So I said that it was the root. I said what the root's function is, and then I did write an extra sentence just saying that that's how the water and the minerals are what helps the plant grow. So make sure you include those in your part. So please send me your sentences on Google Classroom. So there's I went over the four that you could go over: the petals, the flowers, the seed, the stem, and the leaves. And then I already did the roots. And so feel free to draw a picture too with the plant. That's not mandatory. Just if you want to draw the part of the plant, that would be also awesome. And if you want to show off your drawing skills, because I know a lot of you guys do love to draw. So I'm really excited to see what you guys have to say. Remember just to submit it via Google Classroom. And I will, again, attach the image if you need to go back to it. And I challenge you guys, if you want to, this is, obviously none of this is mandatory, but if you want to write maybe about 2 different parts of the plant, that's just a little challenge for you guys. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, and I will definitely be able to answer them. Have a great day, guys.